Hey guys, today in the kitchen with Chef Gio, we have a date all the way to the city of San Sebastian, the culinary world. We will be cooking veal cubes sitting on a potato cream and sundried tomato. Hope you enjoy. For the main ingredients will be 400 grams of veal for stew. Make sure that it's clean. Now on the saucepan, you'll take one olive oil, place the olive oil right into the pan. Make sure you have a good quality olive oil. It's really important. Now take the veal and place it into the pan. Make sure that it's nice and golden in every corner of the veal. That's one of the secrets of this dish, is that you want to make sure that it's really roasted, like kind of a brownish all over the veal. And then, once we have that, you will get the release and you will sear the meat, holding the flavors inside. Now you take a little bit of thyme and you want to add the thyme into the saucepan. A lot of people do it very differently. I like to put it right into the meat when I'm shaking the meat all the way, so we can release a bit of that flavor into the meat, and then I'll leave it just right in there. You want to make sure you keep on stirring just until you get that golden brown all over the meat. Okay. Once we have that golden brown that we're looking for, what we do, we take up all the meat. We're gonna take it out of the pan, remove all the pieces out, and leave the team inside there. But you wanna have that juice. You see that juice you see in the pan right now? That juice is gonna help you. Once we have all our vegetables are nicely cut and brunette, we place the vegetables inside the pan. You have the carrot, onions, and you have a little bit of the leeks inside there. And this is gonna help us a lot to create that beautiful tasty sauce, right? So this is gonna make an amazing dish, guys. Once we have that finished, this is something you're gonna love to make at home. So you wanna sweat all the vegetables inside the pan, a little bit of olive oil, and keep on sweating those vegetables for about 3-4 minutes. I always like to keep the number 4. And don't forget to add a little bit of salt, just to make sure that it has a nice tasty flavor. A little black pepper. into the pan, and then we bring the garlic, mincely chopped. You want to chop the garlic inside and put it inside the whole mirepoix, the whole mix of vegetables, and remove anything that doesn't look too good. You want to make sure that everything looks good. You know, they say the way you dress the food should taste the same. If you can make those combinations, it's amazing. So now we want to make sure that all this is nicely cooked. And now we're gonna add a little bit more of thyme. You don't have to, you know, I usually just add because all we need is the flavor. So we add the thyme into the pan, and a little bit of a little branch of parsley. You just break it with your own fingers and your hands. That will be great. Mix all that, make sure all those flavors combine together. The unified is one thing I like about cooking, is it brings people together. You know, it's a mentality that you're bringing people close to each other, the way you're bringing ingredients to make a beautiful dish. Then we place our meat back into the pan, and all those flavors are gonna adapt to the meat. You want to stir that a little bit more before we're gonna place our beef broth. You can either take beef broth or you can take some vegetable broth and put it inside. So once we have all that nicely done, and now we start placing our broth into the pan, and you want to make sure that you're covering that broth, that the broth is covering the meat, all the meat, right? And we're gonna leave that there. You're gonna make it sit for another, and you lower the heat and let it sit down, let it cook, let it melt everything together for about for a good 30 minutes, 40 minutes. In the meantime, you can actually look into the potato. You're boiling the potatoes. Potatoes are a very simple process to make. I'm sure you know how to make it. Now we're gonna be taking all the meat out after half an hour. You want to take all the meat out of that of the pan, because now it's time to do a separation. Now we're gonna make sure all this nice sauce is gonna be nice and clean. So we remove all the meat from here, and then after that we're gonna be straining this sauce to bring to our reduction of half. And once we have that, we'll let it sit down. We'll put the meat back inside. It's nice and clean, and we want that sauce to go into a half. Bring the strainer now, put all that sauce into the strainer to clean that sauce. Make sure you squeeze the best out of this sauce with a nice little spoon. Just squeeze it in so you can get a bit of more flavors into your sauce. Now that we have our sauce, we put it back into the pan. And now we have quality, good quality restaurant material type of this is a beautiful sauce. Now it's nice and reduced by half already. I usually place the meat back in, let it boil for a little bit, another 5 minutes or so, and then that will be ready for plating after. Now to make the mashed potato, usually you can have a Thermomix. I don't have a Thermomix at home yet, but what I do is that I take the potato and I put them through the strainer using a soup spoon and just blend it right through it. That's gonna make you a very, very thin, very good quality of mashed potato, right? And then once we finish with all that, you wanna be adding to. I usually put a little bit of broth into the mashed potato to give some flavor. But you wanna mix the almond milk. This is where we put the almond milk, and you mix it up until you get that like nice, beautiful quality of mashed potato. Once we have all this ready, we take a nice beautiful plate. We take 2 spoons of mashed potato, place it in the middle, making a nice little, like a nest. And now I'm gonna show you how to plate this like a pro. We'll make a nice little hole in it, and the leeks, I don't know if I showed you earlier, but the leeks, what we're gonna do is that we deep fry them separately. And these leeks, and a julienne style, we place them at the bottom, placing the meat right on top of in the hole of the mashed potato, the potato cream. We place all the nice veal with that delicious sauce. That's gonna be amazing for plating, guys. You're gonna love this.
And this is how you eat veal, San Sebastian style from Spain, a real montarito. Enjoy.
I hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe,